Imagine this. You give birth, knowing your baby has died. Rosie, a British mom, not only did that, she also brought her baby home for 10 days. She held him, read stories to him, even introduced him to her older daughter. All thanks to a device called the CuddleCot. Did I say that right? CuddleCot? And yes, it's completely legal in the UK. Now it raises the question, how long can a goodbye really last? Is it an act of love or an emotional risk? Joining us this morning is psychiatrist Rafa López to talk about it. Rafa, welcome. Hi, how are you all doing? Always nice to be here though. This is definitely a heavy topic. Talking about loss is never easy. In fact, there's a saying, there's no name for a mother who loses her child. Every other kind of loss, widow. Orphan has a name, but this one doesn't. The context here is that a mother lost her baby. And in countries like the UK, Australia, and even parts of the US, if you're allowed to take the baby home for up to 10 days using a cooling crib like this, the idea is to make the goodbye process less abrupt, less instantly traumatic. We saw something similar during the pandemic when so many people lost loved ones but couldn't say goodbye properly. Funerals are an essential part of being human, Evan. Animals have mourning rituals, but for us, those final moments are incredibly meaningful. This technology sort of challenges and expands those traditions. It's a cooling crib that acts like a mini refrigerator, allowing families to have more time at home for those final rites. For some, that can be healing. For others, it might be deeply distressing. In Rosie's case, she's a grown woman, clearly dealing with a huge loss, and she made this choice for closure. But what about her older daughter, maybe 3 or 4 years old? What does this do to a child? Seeing her baby sibling there, clearly lifeless. Generally, psychology says that children don't truly grasp the concept of death until around the age of 8. Before that, it kind of flies over their heads. They might see it, but they don't really get it. So, it's unlikely this caused her trauma. The bigger concern often comes when the parents are not on the same page. Perinatal loss can be especially tough on couples when each person grieves in their own way. And those ways don't always align. I read that they do a psychological evaluation before letting someone use the CuddleCot. Is that true? Yes. And here's something else to think about. We didn't just lose people in the pandemic. We see this with war, natural disasters, so many situations where people can't say goodbye. But in today's world where every need is met with a product, are we risking becoming too emotionally fragile? I mean, now there are AI systems that mimic lost loved ones, using your social media data. Some even let you chat with them. Are we losing more than we're gaining? Honestly, it's a real concern. Pushing technology to the emotional limits always comes with risks. But humans are more mental than physical. That's our evolutionary trait. We write stories, poems, and now maybe we'll create virtual spaces to spend time with the dead. The danger is when someone gets stuck and can't accept reality. That's what we call complicated grief. And it usually includes symptoms of depression. So it's great that something like this exists in some places and is legally regulated. Of course, there are physical changes after death we're not getting into here, but the psychological risk is real. Could someone form an unhealthy attachment to a corpse? Yes, that's a possibility. And let's be clear, the CuddleCot is designed to be used for just a few hours, maybe a couple of days. Rosie kept her baby for 10 days. Reading him stories? That's when you risk losing touch with reality. It's a transitional process. You're not meant to stay in that space. As a mom, can't even imagine going through what she did. I feel deeply for her. I can't judge her. Not one way or the other. But you mentioned the older daughter. Wouldn't it be better for a child that age to never meet the baby at all? Rather than spend 10 days holding, smelling, reading to a sibling who isn't alive. When it comes to kids, what matters most is how the adults around them handle it. If the parents are breaking down, crying, confused, that's what the child internalizes. Kids look to adults to know what's okay. So whether or not they understand death doesn't matter as much as the emotional stability. They see, the key is consistency. Your baby's sister was born. This is what happened. Now she's gone, and this is how we're moving forward, kids. Can handle that? The problem comes when things are unstable, like divorces where the parent leaves, comes back, maybe visits, maybe doesn't. That lack of clarity is what's damaging. So in this case, the family provided a structured, stable explanation and closure. It's probably okay. Otherwise, yes. It could cause confusion or distress. When does grief cross the line into something that requires professional help? When? Do you, as a psychiatrist, step in? That's a good question. Everyone grieves differently, but medically. We do have a general guideline. 2 months. Within those first 2 months, intense emotions and even some dysfunction are totally normal. But if someone is still in deep grief, that's affecting their ability to function after that time. It may be complicated grief. And what's happening chemically in the brain during that? You'll see imbalances in neurotransmitters. People can develop insomnia, irritability, substance abuse issues, isolation, sadness, crying, even aggression. If it goes on too long, we need to intervene. Even within the first 2 months, though, it's okay to check in with a therapist or psychiatrist and ask, is this normal? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes it's actually, this might need more support. And here in Mexico, can parents take the baby's body home like? In the UK, no, here that's not allowed. Unless it's a natural death, the body goes to a funeral home. Some people do still hold wakes at home, but that's more about cultural tradition. And even then, there are people who can't bring themselves to view the body. It depends on personal beliefs. So again, this isn't about judging anyone. Everyone processes grief differently. What matters is that we recognize our own needs and seek help when we need it. Thanks so much, Rafa. Thank you all. Let's keep the conversation going.